We're going to talk about some of our favorite movies through the years.
Right.
5 favorite films, or the ones at least we kind of latched onto the most when we were around 12 years old, and then the ones that currently we like the most. I think it's impossible to really narrow it down to these are my favorites and will always be, and I love rewatching them because I like so many movies, and I am not the kind of person who will just rewatch the same movie over and over again.
Right. I would agree. How would you define your favorite movie? Like what makes it one of your favorite movies?
Well, if we're talking about the list from when we were around 12, I think, like, if your parents were like, hey, we're gonna watch a movie as a family, what do you want to watch? The one that I would lobby for, right? So that's how I define that.
So what would you do later in life?
Nowadays, honestly, I think the list would probably change depending on the week I made it.
Right, that's the
so
thing.
It's just like current favorites as of this moment.
That's actually, with my list, I tried to stick with, if I only had these 5 movies to watch for the rest of my life, what would I be willing to continue watching? Because I love it that much.
Okay. And that explains a lot about your lists.
Yeah.
You take some shortcuts here.
Yeah.
So do you want to start with your list, your top 5 films when you were a preteen? These are not in order, by the way.
Okay, well for me it's 1, and then everything else is kind of dribbled.
Okay.
Back to the Future trilogy.
Counts as 1.
1. Top movie group.
Yeah, you love Back to the Future.
I love it.
You have a flux capacitor tattoo.
I do. And then Little Rascals.
Which, if you've seen our Terrible Movies We Love video,
Right.
is
The next one's on there too. Xanadu. Hey. Don't.
Okay,
That Thing You Do, which I still super love.
and that's the
Gone Above It.
Tom Hanks written and directed musical, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And then Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yep.
Also still very high on my list. Honestly, I love all these movies still, but there's some other movies that have become more important.
These movies were my jam. I think especially the first 3 I'm gonna list are sort of instrumental in me wanting to make movies at all. Jurassic Park, the original one. Words cannot describe how much my little mind was blown when I first saw this movie with my dad. I had never seen a film that I would really say was frightening to me before this. Ever since I've just been in love with being scared watching a movie. Indiana Jones 3. Not only did you get him, but you also got his dad. And the chemistry between the two of them, I just loved as a kid.
Yeah.
If you've seen the Terrible Movies We Love video, then you have seen my adoration for The Phantom Menace, as well as Mary Poppins, which I've always just loved this movie. It's one of those movies that grows really well with you. Singing in the Rain, I really love. So we both have Gene Kelly on our list.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now for our now for our current list of movies that we like as of today, which ask me tomorrow. Maybe it'll be different.
No change here. Back to the Future. They are still and will forever be my number 1. Still Xanadu. It's amazing.
My, how you've grown.
It's amazing. Well, movies are good. Okay, here's some new ones.
Ooh.
Deadpool was perfect. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Every character, everything about it is hilarious and awesome. Batman Returns.
Yes, I love that one.
When it comes to my favorite Batman movie, that's probably the top.
Yeah.
Next one on my list is the Cornetto trilogy, which is Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. All Edgar Wright films. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. And I also love Scott Pilgrim. I just love Edgar Wright. Your turn.
Nausicaa of the Valley of the Winds, the Miyazaki Studio Ghibli film. It's based on amazing manga. I just love this movie. Next on the list, there are 3 Japanese films on this list. Battle Royale! It's a little bit of a different movie. The Hunger Games is to Battle Royale what Twilight is to Nosferatu. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's an over-the-top, super gory, hilarious, and moving at times. Sort of goes back and forth. I just love this movie. It's a slice of fried madness. Speaking of insanity, my next movie on the list makes this one look particularly sane in comparison. It's called Why Don't You Play in Hell? And it's hilarious.
It's ridiculous. You wouldn't expect it to be so funny.
My next on the list is the Muppet movie, the original, I think 70s? Partly because there are several moments in the movie that just really resonate with me on a deep emotional level. I think it's only gotten better with age. Enough said. If you haven't seen the original Muppets movie, you owe it to yourself to see it. Finally, a relatively more recent discovery of ours is the 80s cult classic Night of the Comet. It's silly, it's pulpy, it's about two sisters and the end of the world. There we go. Those are our past and present favorite films. What about you? What movies sort of stick around with you as you journey through life? I don't know, maybe you're like us. Maybe your answer will be different on any given day. Okay.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie? Tell Lindsay.